Hey everyone, once again I'm back with another deck. This time got a monsters one and a pretty fresh take on some some stuff in the faction. We're going to be doing a bit of Moonlight. And before you leave, before you say, okay, Moonlight sucks, why am I even here? This deck's actually pretty good. It's pretty powerful, especially with the addition of Arachas, Queen, and Harpies, which I really like. It's a combo that's really cool, I think, in a lot of decks, but in this one it works really well. So yeah, I'll run you through the general idea. So predominantly we have, Siren and Moonlight. This is kind of the core, the basis of the deck. The other bronzes synergize with this, and that's going to be effectively a weather on our side of the board. So instead of playing a fog, we play a Moonlight, for example, and that's doing the same job. Um, but also our units are going to benefit. So we have werewolves, which are immune, which is really nice. They can't actually be damaged, and they also go to 14 strength when played in Moonlight, so very powerful. Alpha werewolves as well are a very strong card. They're 12 points when played in Moonlight. Plus they spawn 2 wolves, which is relevant because wolves are beasts, and it turns out if you eat them, harpies come out of the deck. So that's pretty neat. And yeah, of course, harpies, they're just kind of like the new done banner, I think, for monsters. 12 free points effectively every game. And then a foglet just in there because we're playing Vader Maker and Woodland Spirit. I'm not 100% sure if this is correct, but it's been working so far. So yeah, that's the bronze core. For golds, we've got, the Tribute, which is a very powerful monster card, along with Mandrake and Nest to synergize with it. Um, you're often going to be taking Ghoul for a bunch of points. Alternatively, maybe some carryover with Nest. And with Mandrake, hitting down a big unit, denying some carryover from then, getting your own kind of carryover potentially by buffing up your Spy for Osrel to eat, things like this. Um, and yeah, pretty nice overall gold card. Next we've got Triss, pretty strong as well. Often you're going to be using her for the Moonlight replay in like a round 3 or something, or maybe even Blood Moon to smash the enemy side of the board a little bit. Um, and maybe she'll find some bronzes from the opponent's deck, which can also be useful. So all around pretty strong gold. Of course, Woodland Spirit, just a bit of fog, gets the foglet out and spawns beasts for the Arachas Queen to eat potentially. Karen, some removal, which I think is quite important when there's a few spies going around. And Great Swords as well are quite popular. Karen helps a bit in both of those matchups, and even against just like I don't know, elves or whatever, like eating a 7 for 19 points is pretty damn strong. So Karen, I think, is a good pickup. Frightener, we need our Spy probably, especially when playing Osrel. Really nice to have. And like this deck does a lot of thinning. Maybe you brick onto Moonlight occasionally with the draw from Frightener, but other than that, you're pretty safe most of the time. Then we have Nekirat, who's just another way to find Moonlight, because it's so important we have Moonlight for the werewolves, basically, and for the long round value. But you can always deal some damage to the enemy as well with the Blood Moons, that's nice. Oswald's just going to be a big, chunky boy, some big points, which is always good. Helps us with our finisher a little bit, along with the Crone potentially, for some, actual powerful finisher plays, which typically Moonlight has lacked in the past. And then Vader Maker to finish it off, he's just going to be a solid 9-point removal a lot of the time if you don't find your woodland. If you do find your woodland, if you don't find your woodland, you can play fog and get that foglet out. So quite a nice inclusion there. And yeah, the idea of the deck is just to bully in round 1, try to take a win on even, and then just kind of smash them with your big golds in round 3. That's the idea, and it's been working pretty well so far. Hard to say whether this will be viable, like long term or as the meta develops, but I think it could probably have some good matchups here and there, and it seems pretty decent. So yeah, I'm going to jump into a little bit of gameplay, and hope you guys enjoy. All right, got Miss Ithne to deal with here, with the lovely Arachas Queen. We'll see how it goes. So mulligans, we're going to be wanting to get rid of Harpy, and then Moonlight, and then Foglet if you have any. Here we don't have a Foglet, so we can probably just get rid of double Moonlight. That's really nice hand, looking quite good. We can of course get the Foglet out with Woodland in the round 1, and the Harpies out with the Arachas Queen in round 1 as well. If you don't have the Woodland Spirit to pull them out, you can always use the Alpha Werewolf because it spawns beasts, which you can then eat. So it's a really nice synergy. Or even you can eat, Siren if you have to, if you don't have any targets. But usually you're always sending those Harpies out, which is really nice. And yeah, the plan is to get red coin and then win on even cards and kind of bully them with your big power plays later on. So that's the aim of what we're going to be doing this round. You can threaten quite a lot because their pass is going to be kind of a little bit dangerous, when they're dealing with so much weather. That's kind of the idea. Here we're going to actually start with Woodland. Normally we might start with Moonlight, but you kind of expect potentially gold weather from the opponent if he's running these, Blue Mountain elites and whatnot. So kind of wary of that. Want to be able to counter his weather if he does have some with the Moonlight. Could be nice. And yeah, probably just lead with the Arachas Queen next. Just stay ahead on even, that sort of thing. Could be nice. Hopefully he doesn't clear the weather. That would be annoying. Okay, so it looks like we're just dealing with some elves and whatnot. We are going to go ahead and eat those wolves up now to pull the harpies out the deck. And that gives us a really nice, nice thinned deck with not too many bricks in there. We will want to thin a little bit more with the sirens, as time goes on. But, one siren in hand, can't do too much thinning. Maybe play the Mandrake with the Tribute this round as well as possible. We will see what happens. And yeah, we're looking pretty good here though. So just going to kind of want to play the round out. Hopefully get some kind of card advantage some way or one way or another. Can maybe even take 2 cards up, although a little bit risky. We'll see what happens. But here's a perfect opportunity to play Siren. It does get us ahead. Establishing the second weather effect is really nice, and it's going to give us some 14-point big boy plays if we want to catch up in points at any stage. Frightener would be nice to get rid of as well, so that we have potentially Osrel giving us a lot of value later on. And yeah, just taking it chill. What else can we do? I mean, maybe we could Babagazi and strengthen it with the tribute. So that's a potential thing. It does go for the clear, which, is a lot of value here. Yeah, probably fine for him to do. He could have also denied our Moonlight, but I think the clear's very reasonable here, especially considering we do have more Moonlight effects. But now we're going to play one Werewolf. Kind of want to get the Werewolves out of your hand. They can be a bit trickier to play, because they're all the same strength. They're all quite big. They can get scorched. And they're pretty weak if you don't have Moonlight, right? Only 7 points compared to 10 on the Alpha Werewolf. This one's kind of much more safe to play in a round, where you don't have Moonlight. Although that's very rarely going to happen because you have, Triss to find Moonlight, you have Nekirat, and you have 3 Sirens. 5 cards in your deck, that's quite a lot of options. There, looks like he does just go with the Yaven. Tempted to pass here, but it might even just be better to play the Frightener if he does have some kind of cheeky Hailstorm play to catch him up. We would not want to fall into that trap. And here we're just going to move the Aileron. Should be fine. We're setting up a really big Blood Moon with either Triss or Nekirat, so that should be good. Moonlight is not really what you want to see, but not the end of the world. We can just mulligan it later on, not a huge issue. And setting up the Scorch, not going to work, my friend. We do, in fact, dodge that with the Werewolf getting buffed, so that's nice. Probably going to play a Werewolf here just to get that out the hand. We, of course, don't want to get double Scorched or something later in the game, so that's nice to get rid of. Could also play Moonlight from hand if we want to free up the mulligan. That might be a reasonable thing to do. We will see what happens. Maybe even strengthen Yaven, give us a bigger monster nest. That is also a potential play we can make in this round. We do also maybe want to get rid of the Alpha Werewolf or like another Moonlight effect because they're going to be weaker the longer this round goes. And being able to damage his Rose right now would be pretty powerful. And I think we're going to go ahead and play that Mandrake now. Just get the strengthening effect, get a bigger monster nest play for later on. It does give his Glacier Mandrake if you should want that, but not too worried. Probably going to have to play that Mandrake out at some stage either way, so not the end of the world. We could even go with Babagazi for carryover soon because that would really secure our card advantage here. If he continued to play into that, then we'd be in a very good position. But he's going to pass now anyway, so not really concerned. And we can most likely just dry pass back and go for a really nice round 3 with a decent length round, some Moonlight, and a Ghoul or 2 to eat our really big spy. Plus we have card advantage, so it'll be hard for him to set up some kind of Scorch on us. And here Mulligan is definitely Moonlight to even if you aren't bricking a Siren, you don't really want to play just a weather effect from hand. It's pretty weak, so go ahead and mulligan that away. And yeah, looking pretty good. We have triple Moonlight in round 3, should we want that, or maybe a Blood Moon effect. We have Osrel to eat his spy, Frightener, and we also have the Ghoul from Monster Nest to eat our Spy, which is going to be a really big play as well. So two really nice ones, and we have the card advantage to kind of maneuver there and make sure he doesn't scorch us for big points. You know, plus we got rid of all the werewolves apart from one, so they're not going to be playing to scorch, which is really nice to see. And yeah, we've kind of just achieved the goal of the deck, which is bully them out in round one, win on even, or gain card advantage, and then go to round three and just do the whole Moonlight thing again. So that's the idea. Yeah, working pretty well. I will say the deck kind of struggles on blue coin because a lot of your like weather and tempo plays are wasted if they can just pass it away, right? So that's something to think about. Villain Trattenmouth coming down immediately. A little bit spooky. I think we're happy to just play Werewolf from hand. Not going to worry too much about setting up Moonlight immediately, just because it will play into his Villain Trattenmouth a little bit. So we'll play some low strength units, and hopefully he'll end up scorching himself. Could be quite nice to see. You know, we've got Moonlight with Siren, potentially Moonlight from Arachas to play it slow, and then Moonlight with Triss at the end on this Werewolf here. Could be very nice. And you know, even if he does get a Scorch off, it's hopefully only going to be on one of our small units, not a bigger one later on. So yeah, not really too many issues. We'll see what the next play is. The Werewolf's also awkward for him. He can't actually hit it with archers or anything like that to align a Scorch, or I don't know, deal some damage in time-wasted fashion. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. And Siren is the next play. Should be quite a strong one, I think. We'll probably go with that. Definitely taking his time. But yeah, I do like Moonlight. It's quite a fun deck. Maybe not the strongest ever, but you know, it's got some potential, I think. And he does just go with the Moonlight there. I'm not sure that's what you want to be doing. Glace is, of course, going to be playing into that Bork range, which we're pretty happy about. Ends up scorching himself, so not too many issues there. Yeah, next up we probably got this Necker out in front, and then the Triss, of course, to get the full 3 weather, you know, value, which you really like to see with any kind of weather deck, but with Moonlight especially, it's really nice. Hopefully we don't run into some kind of gold weather. But yeah, that Blood Moon play doesn't really achieve much. We can always just override it and get the proc on the Werewolf anyway. So kind of curious as to why he went with that. I mean, I guess he probably doesn't have too many other plays. He's likely holding on to quite a few Scorch effects in hand, so this round's just going to be very awkward for the Ithne, which we like to see. We like to do that. It's partly a reason because of all our card advantage that we're able to get by just pressuring. Oh, the Mandrake does come down. Wow, very cheeky stuff. Going to be able to get a Scorch on us. I'm thinking, is there any way we could, you know, stop that happening? I don't think there is, so we'll just develop another row of Moonlight. Should be fine. Honestly, that might have been a mistake. I probably could have put it here next to the Werewolf. Or even on this back row, you know, giving the Werewolf Moonlight, and we would probably get an extra proc, I think, but shouldn't really matter too much. Although saying that, he did just remove our stuff, so that's a bit of a bummer. We'll drop the Werewolf for the Moonlight value, and then probably Triss on this front row. Maybe some slight misplays there by me. Don't worry, guys, don't worry. We're still looking to be kind of okay in this round. His Scorch is still dead for the moment, so no real problems there. We maybe even just eat the half-elf hunter. That's we've now played into Scorch with the Werewolf, which is kind of annoying, but not really the end of the world. We'll just eat the 6 here. Don't want to buff the Werewolf up just yet because that's gonna play pretty hard into a Scorch, which he most likely has here. So either once the Werewolf gets buffed, or if we see the Scorch, we can then go with the Triss onto Moonlight, and then the Werewolf should be good. I'm gonna roll with that. Might even be correct to go for Recon. I think we have another Siren in the deck, but whatever. Lots of misplays here, but you get the idea. I haven't played too much with this deck, so I'm more going on sort of just, yeah, natural plays and whatnot, and just rolling with it. But yeah, definitely a couple of mistakes here, and we're still winning by a very, very significant margin. So that's a testament to the strength of this deck, especially on red coin. But yeah, I think Moonlight's a pretty good one. It's actually like, I'm not sure. It kind of fits into the same category as the Swarm deck that I played from last Challenger, I think. Pretty similar sort of power level, but I think it's slightly better on blue coin, which is important for ladder, right? So definitely a red coin deck to be feared. And yeah, quite a fun one. I thought I'd whack out the old Arachas Queen Harpy synergy one more time because it's really fun and really cool. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to give the deck a go, especially while people are playing all sorts of weird stuff on the ladder. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.